We've got people focused, analyze, impact, storytelling, engagement, decisions, business, tell story, pivot, outcomes, value, analyze, ease of use. Like, wow, some great ones. All right, so we've got some overachievers using it for all of the above. This is kind of fun as it comes through real time, just like the reordering. So employee engagement's taking the lead. Ooh, tie, it's a tiebreaker. Employee engagement, all of the above. Interesting.
How does this data resonate, both our results for the group here and David Green's research? Curious what people's thoughts are.
I'm a little surprised to see employee engagement at 59% when employee retention and turnover is 82%. Seems like the engagement piece would be a correlated metric there.
Well, the recruitment one, that'll be interesting to look at because increasingly companies are using generative AI to put skills into job descriptions, and then applicants are using generative AI to generate resumes and applications. So it's going to be AI scraping, other AI. We'll see how that turns out.
So what I'm not seeing here is employee development and learning and things like that. Is that rolled into one of these other categories?
Good observation. That's why we have the topic.
I'm actually trying, we have an HR analytics team and I'm trying to get their attention on, can we start wrapping the data we have in learning and see if it correlates to the high performers or some other retention or some other area of interest, and haven't been successful in getting their attention yet, but they're like, yeah, we need to get to you someday.
I was interested in the performance management category because at first you look at the examples and it's, oh, this is just tracking how people are doing things on the job, which it's managing their performance. So it's a different spin because normally you see performance management, you're thinking the once or twice a year sit down, measuring your competencies or your skills. So you have to think about that for a second and say, yeah, this could be a different, this is with all the data that's available. These are live ongoing things that companies can be doing to track people's performance, especially as we start moving to skills. So you talk about how you don't see learning data in here yet. More and more as companies switch to developing skills and developing all these skills hierarchies and taxonomies, things like what you're seeing down there at the bottom would hopefully start to maybe track a little bit and mesh with some of the learning data.
I'll post a recap on LinkedIn if anyone's curious about this trophy. As we were talking about this, right? Like the importance of our function, we need to upskill in people analytics. Like we need, the savviness. And so we're talking about it in terms of, well, how do we develop this within our organizations? And then I was sharing this example of at a company where we needed our HR partners to be more savvy and leverage some analytical tools. So after, hosting a boot camp around teaching how do you read the dashboard, have these conversations with business leaders. So really translating data into action. Then it was, well, how do we reward this? How do we reward when HR is using data? My boss at the time had recently been gifted with this trophy that weighed probably 20 pounds. It looks like, kind of resembles the Shard in London. So this giant shard of glass. And we came up with the data-based decision-making award. So it ended up being the Triple D. And we wrote out, anyone can nominate somebody for this award when you've used data to solve a business problem or in a conversation.
I love it. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this, and Megan, I'm completely inspired by your example because you're right. I mean, you're trying to affect a cultural shift, and rewards is certainly part of it. And I like that you created, right? I think it was so smart of you, and I haven't seen any other examples of rewarding data, but I think that's so freaking cool.